Well, I'm not an automotive channel. I'm not even sure which channel I'm going to put this on. Probably Hill or Streams. It's just a general video. Not that technical. The big thing about replacing a battery in a car is to not blink out your computer. So I've got a trickle charger hooked to my battery terminals before I took them off. And then I had to loosen these guys. A deep socket would have helped. I had to take the socket off the thing and like cheat a little bit to get it out. I don't know if you know that little trick, you know, where you don't put the socket all the way in and make it a deep wall socket. So a little bit of spray, not like PB Blaster, but that's what I had. And got the hardware loosened up. Of course, the first step was this guy putting a trickle charger on. If I didn't have a trickle charger, I would use a pair of alligator clips to a 9-volt battery, and that would probably work. I'm shooting this on my small camera because I left my big camera in the car. I'm afraid if I open any of the doors, this charger just won't have enough oomph. In fact, it's not glowing very brightly as it is. So it's got to be loaded down. I don't know if it's even going to work. But we'll see. Hopefully I don't lose my memory. Dr. Memory. So this is a Group 24 battery. I saw on someone else's channel. I'll put a link to it if I can find it. He had a pretty good video. I'm basically doing the same thing he did. Just copying his video. He went and put a Group 24 battery in place of his Group 25 battery. Because there's extra room on the tray. Both sides. It'll fit a Group 24. The height is the same and everything else pretty much the same. You don't want to get a 24F because that'll have the positive and negative switched around. Aware that on a Ford 24F, which is Ford, the two battery terminals are reverse. So I guess if you had to put it in, the terminals would be back here, which wouldn't be optimal if you put a 24F in the right way. That's about it. Lube on everything. Hope try not to blank my computer out. And clean the dust off the new battery. That's a whole story in itself. I thought I was getting a fresh battery ordered in, and guy had no idea. April 2019 battery. Little unhappy about that. Anyway, guy sent me away, said, oh, we don't have that, I'll order it and I'll have it in tomorrow for you. I came in 2 days later, no order. Guy didn't find the battery had been sent, but he had batteries in back. He already had the battery, so the guy could have given me a battery the other day, although it's older, which I'm not real happy about. Anyway, $89 battery, plus the core and everything else. That's not too bad. I could have done better at Walmart with their 1-year battery, or I could have paid a lot more with their deluxe battery at 128 or something. They had a 24 for like 59 or something, really good low price. I don't know what the deal's with that. I had a pretty good cranking amp too. Anyway, if I was really looking for a low price, I probably would have gone Walmart. Probably got a fresher battery too, in retrospect. I kind of didn't want to get a Interstate battery. I've had bad luck with Interstate. That's why I went for Exide. Oh, who knows? They're all made by 2 different lines. You know, there's hardly anybody making batteries to put different names on them all. But I think Exide makes their own batteries, and I think Interstate makes their own batteries. And Johnson Controls made this battery. This battery is only 356 cold cranking amps. And I saw that other 24 I was going to buy, Walmart listed, I think it was $585 or something like that. So it almost a good deal more. And this is a 600. So I should do a little better. This battery's been intermittent. Acts good, and then I wouldn't be surprised if it had a shorted cell or something crazy. It starts me sometimes. If I leave the doors open when I'm loading and unloading and moving, so I've been having the doors open, and twice I killed the battery that way. And, you know, if I'm going canoeing and coming off the river, I'm loading and unloading, and battery just barely started a couple times. Like, you know, I don't need that. I need something that'll start me. Plus winter's coming. Anyway, I'll come back when I get a little more done here. And I should add a little caution here too. You know, obviously the positive terminal is going to be tucked away where it's not going to short against something or you'll lose your memory anyway. When you're loosening the battery, you should probably take off the negative first. If you loosen the positive first and you hit metal somewhere with your wrench, you are going to have a nasty problem. A lot of current, even in a dead battery, especially a new battery. So yeah, be safe, look at what you're doing. I started wiping down this tray, but with the hardware loose, it just comes right out. So I'm going to take this tray out and give it a wash under the faucet. I also washed the little cover for the battery, the little insulating cover. Not much insulation, but I'll put it back on with a little piece of tape bridging the gap. So it's not going to fit like the old one fit. So I'll fill that gap with just a little bit of tape, maybe a little piece of insulation underneath it. So when you remove a battery, it's probably best to remove the negative first. That way if you short the positive to ground with a wrench, there won't be a connection to ground to the battery. And you can see they've actually put a pad here so you don't stupidly boom, short from here to here. But yeah, it makes more sense to remove the negative first, and then when you install it, install the positive first and put the negative on second. With this car, it's not a big deal. You're not going to short it unless you're really loco, stupid, silly. I don't know what I'll put in there. They make special grease for this purpose, but I used silicone, just a plain silicone grease in the terminals before I put the clamps back on. I wiped out the clips too, and I put just a dab of silicone grease on these shafts. Just starting to rust, which I'm trying to get down by hand as far as I can, and then I'll finish them with a socket wrench. Ideally a deep socket, but like I said, I'll cheat my short socket when I recover it. Having trouble recovering that socket. I don't know where it went. It didn't fall all the way through. It hit some metal when it landed. But in the process of looking for the socket, I see this thing wrapped around. Must have been one of my mechanics. I use mostly one mechanic. Maybe I'll see if he I don't know if he wants it anymore. It's pretty dirty now. Can't find the switch. Yeah, it's dead. It was probably on when he dropped it and he just forgot about it. Wow. That's a pretty good one too. Police security. Maybe the police were inspecting my car. Yeah, probably my mechanic. So all the effort, I have a deep ball socket. So I tightened up the clamps. I should have cleaned under the clamps. I see there's white crud that came out from underneath the clamp. Oh well. Perfection will never be automotive. There's actually room for a bigger battery yet. I don't know what size would fit this tray perfectly, but yeah, there's still another 1/8 of an inch on one side, 1/4 on the other. And at this point I should be able to take off my clips, get the debris out of here. I'm going to try running the car real fast forward and backwards to see if I can shake that socket out, because I can't see it. Find the key, I'll see if it starts. And success! Everything was in the same status I left it, and the fan was on the same speed, and radio in the same place, everything the same. So, success! And pulled the 2 push pins. Now I gotta go find that one out of the air duct here. Removed the air duct, and eventually I found the socket tucked way in over here somewhere. Now I gotta find the push pin I just dropped. Put it all back together. But it started nice, everything is intact. Job done.